Number 9 here, I'm getting prepared for an absolute slew of hate here because a couple of weeks ago, a colleague of mine, Josh Cornelison, and I, we kind of delved into the Pacific Division and how that's looking ahead of next season. And we both spoke about the Sacramento Kings and the chances of a slip here. And I uploaded that clip to YouTube and just had an absolute plethora of Kings fans coming in and berating the crap out of us. And fair enough, whatever, but it's not going to stop me from putting the Sacramento Kings 9th in my Western Conference power rankings. And that is a massive slip. I get it. But I just don't see where this team improved in the offseason. And I know a lot of Kings fans are rightly saying to me, well, stability's key. And you look at, what the Warriors did back in, the 2014 kind of 15 period before their first championship, or 2013-14 kind of thing, and the chances they had before that 2015 championship where they could have traded, Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. They could have moved Steph Curry for Andrew Bogut, but that ended up being Monte Ellis and whatever else. And they just kept the same kind of core together. And that's kind of what Kings fans, I think, are hoping for next season, that, you bring back basically everyone and that, another year playing together, that they'll at least remain, one of the top few seeds in the Western Conference. I just don't see it. I think that if you stand pat like this, that teams will just go past you. And I do wonder whether, Sabonis, can he respond from what was a really disappointing playoff performance, or do we think that teams will have potentially worked him out by now? Will he be able to develop that kind of mid-range jump shot that can hurt teams that play off of him? Is Fox going to be able to shoot a similar percentage than he did last season? I have my question marks. Again, it's kind of a marketing thing. Where does he retain at those kind of shooting percentages, or does he revert to what he's been earlier in his career and for the majority of his career? I just have, Harrison Barnes. Is he still the same quality role player? Are we going to see a 23-year-old Keegan Murray really make a significant jump from his rookie season? Is Kevin Huerter going to respond from what was a disappointing playoff campaign? It's just, there wasn't enough improvement here for me. And if you're not improving with the state of this Western Conference right now, teams will go past you, and they will go past you quickly. And again, Kings fans can look at the stability and bring everyone back and another year in the system. I understand that, but I don't think it'll be enough, honestly.
I think this is the first time in a long time we've disagreed on a point, so I've actually put a smile on my face.
Good.
I have the Sacramento Kings a few spots above you. I had them 5th again for the stability alone. One thing I love about a team, so obviously, other than winning games and putting in people, it's the culture shift and the light, the beam. It's the most basic. I don't know who thought how easy, how long it took them to come up with that. But what that did for the city of Sacramento, I was listening to Klay Thompson say he hasn't been in an arena as loud as that since Cleveland in 2016. Which is one of the biggest finals of all time. So the culture they built there, and the fact they're going to they're going to have pretty much the same 5 there. They re-signed Harrison Barnes. That was the biggest signing or biggest thing they did in the offseason. I think they restructured Sabonis' contract. Yeah, they didn't really do anything too crazy, but I think stability plays such a huge part. They had the number 1 offense, and they got Rashad Holmes' contract off them, so I think they've got a little bit more money than they used to. But I think just continuing, because Sabonis is 27, Fox is 25, Huerter 24, Murray's 22 as well, 23. So there's so much flexibility and so much they can play around with there. And I bought into it took me a long time to come and believe in the Sacramento Kings. And Fox, I was never entirely sure, but for them to be as young as they are, to what they built in the short space of a year, and the fact they have so much flexibility gets me pretty excited for their future. And if it's just power rankings and regular season with their number 1 offense, I had them 5th.